I obviously have done a little bit of work off stream. There's been some interesting, like, sort of feedback come up, and I'm trying to iterate on it about the game here. And so you might see some changes from last time if you were paying attention. But right now specifically, I'm adding sort of like this second room here to the starting area, or this third room rather, because the second room is like the shop. And what I'm doing now is, and I kind of have it somewhat working, was I'm spawning the player in this first room first, and then anytime after that they spawn over here. And this is like a special place because what it means is they will spawn next to the place where their money goes. And I wasn't going to put it over here, but the main reason I created this third room is so that the player will have to walk through the shop area in order to start the next run. It slows it down a little bit, but I think it's going to be important. I'm going to move this text up here out of the way. We don't need to see anything up there. It's like right in my face. So I have this may or may not sort of work. We'll go ahead and like try running it and see, but I didn't like check where I was on this problem. Oh, I'm like stuck up there. That's funny. Let's make it like 20 instead. Yeah. Let's start. Oh, it's still there. So I had, we'll show you what I was getting at, but I was in the middle of working on a new spawning routine. So clearly it's not totally working right yet. I think it's somewhere in here in the game. Okay, so we got, pipe position and player spawn position that we're passing. And so depending on how many game overs there's been, we will spawn our player in a different spot. Let's do 20 here. I might just do something kind of special and disable them, because what I'd love ideally to do is have them spawn up here and not collide with any of this and just drop down, right? But if we were to just... 20 is not far enough. Let's do 40. So... Oh, they're just dropping right in. That's funny. Okay, so we gotta work especially on that first one. I'm also gonna turn the volume off on that. And we also have to get rid of the pipe, obviously, because it's straight up in the way. But then, like, if you game over and you die, then we spawn over here. Okay, so... It's interesting that we don't immediately fall. I don't know exactly why that is. There's something in my code that's like saying the player can't move for the moment, and then it can, right? So anyway, then you would drop through the pipe would maybe go away, Here, I don't know. It would definitely go away in that first room, but then you'd walk through the shop and it would be open. I think I'm gonna stop doing that little cutscene. And then you come over here, right? Before you go on to the next one. So let's make that happen. So what happens is we say player spawn, which like determines positions for where the player spawns. And that also calls an animation. So it triggers an animation. I do want to point out that I got this like question in text here on the screen. That's something I'm thinking about, and maybe if during the course of the stream or any time after, if you want to message me, if you have any thoughts about this, I'd be curious. There's this open design question I have of where I should put upgrades to our gear items that we buy. So as you may or may not know, I'd be interested to get some feedback on this. As you may or may not know, we have the gear upgrades you can buy, and then there's like perks, which are like non-gear. You don't like equip them. They're just permanent upgrades. These are permanent upgrades that you have to like equip, essentially, right? And you can you can equip one at a time at the start of the game. Wink, wink. You go to the locker, and it brings up a menu where you equip the gear, right? And so, the question on my mind, as written on stream here, is should we have like a separate place to buy upgrades to that equipment? Like up here in the shop somewhere? Where it would be all laid out? Or should we choose and buy upgrades like in the menu for equipping the equipment itself? That's the question on my mind. I don't know the answer. I think there seem to be pros and cons for either, but I'm not fully sure. And so it's something I'm thinking about. Okay, so with that said, I want to finish working on this little intro animation thing, and then maybe we'll move on to either implementing some of those upgrades for equipment, or I might work on like some new content for the levels. I'm not sure. I'm thinking I'll do either. I don't really have a super plan. I'm down to work on whatever anyone might want to see me work on. We could alternatively work on any number of things. Polish, like juice, you know. Improvements to the levels as they are, level sets, make new levels for World 1, you know. All kinds of stuff we could do. But I don't have like all night, so let me just get this going. So the first time we do, I want the player to come down through the pipe, and what happens is this player start animation plays, and I think what's happening is can control player is false. And I think that's actually preventing the player from moving. Let me make sure. So maybe it's not can control player that I want to set to false. I think in the process or physics process, we say if we can't control player, then return. Which means this whole like, yeah. So can control player also turns off all movement, including like our physics-based movement, because this is what controls our movement, and we're not getting to that if we have can control player off. We also have can move player. So can control player stops player entirely, can move player. Okay, so that's what we actually want to change here. So delete this track and property player, wherever can move player is. There's a lot of things here. I passed it. I didn't pass it. Does it need to be an export? I don't see why it would. But maybe it does. Maybe it needs to have a type hint. If we save our code there, can we see it in that property list now? There it is. Okay. We just need a type hint. The can move will start false, and then after however long, true. And then what we want to do is we want to move the pipe up and out of the way. So that is called player pipe. And the thing we want to do is we want to move it from its current position to like its current position minus, I don't know, like 200. So like, oh, not even 200, like 250. Okay. So it's completely out of the way. And we just can't see it anymore. And so what we need is a track. Maybe we just want a method. Because I do like tweening. So there's two ways we could do it. We could do it as changing the property on a property track on our animation. Or we can just call a method that does a tween and has those values. Either way, I think we're gonna have to access and set some numbers in the keys on the track. So whether it's like a function call key or a position property key, I don't think it matters. So it's effectively the same thing, so I'm just gonna make it a position thing. So if we do player pipe position, right? We have this, and then okay, so that's that position, and then at 4, maybe at 3.5, we have the normal. So half a second, we just move the position up. So we just need to fill in value, right? And the way we are gonna do that is look at the documentation. Pull this up. animation. Okay, where do we... This is like in the manual. I want the actual reference page for animations. So there's current animation. We can get an animation by its name. And then get a key from it, right? That gives us back an animation. Track insert key. I think maybe there's a track set key. Okay, we got track get key value. Here we go. Track set key value is the thing we want. We just need the track index and the key index. That's what the int would be, I think. And then just give it a value. First things first, we get the animation called player start. And we're gonna do this all in here, right? Anim player get animation. Okay. Okay, so we put that in a variable, and then we'll say anim dot track. I already forgot what it was. Track set key value, right? So track index is probably 0, 1, 2, 3, if I had to guess. And then we have, I think, key 0. It doesn't really say. But I assume it's like left to right, 0 to N. So, like, if we set key 0 to, and the value should be a vector 2 in this case, right? Yeah, because it's, yeah. It should be just pipe pause, right? Because that would be the starting position of the pipe. And then we would do same thing, but key index 1, and it's pipe plus vector 2, like, you know, 0 minus 250. We're going up 250 units. Variable rename. I'm trying to remember if anyone. I feel like someone has. Surely someone has used it. If not, you should. It'd be funny. I already here's the thing. You call it brave, but it's just me exposing how bad I am at programming in the first place, more than anything. Which is to say, it doesn't make a difference to me because my variables are all terribly named in the first place. See, I'm playing 5D chess over here on that. That's my secret captain. Okay. We got that. We're setting that. We think it's going to change this and this. We will find out. Are functions just variables with a call attribute in the back end? I mean, yeah. I mean, at the most basic level, functions are just collections of variables, right? Always, no matter what. I mean, they are input-output machines. But man, this is all making me. All this is doing is making me miss Lisp, where functions are variables. I look to see. I think there's also a Lisp binding project for Godot, which is kind of fun. I don't know how that. I feel like all these binding projects are like very infant stages. Okay. Does that do what I want it to do? I guess we'll find out. Oh, okay. None of that looked good. Also, I'm going to delete the save here. So we start from the beginning. Oh, shoot. The player, I keep forgetting the player just like goes straight into it. I need to start the player a bit lower here, or I need to disable the portal for now. Maybe I need to do that. I think I should just do that first. So let's just set monitoring and yeah. Let's do monitoring off. Project you've been working on is terrible to work with. So is this project. I need to do the same thing for this. I've been talking with someone about just setting aside some time for code refactoring this so that it's all nicer and stuff, but I just never seem to find the time to do it. I'm terrible like that. I just want to get the game done, you know? Like, I know in the end, though, it'll be more beneficial overall. I'm just, like, kind of delaying it as long as I possibly can. So I don't know if this is doing what it should. So I need to like anim dot get track Oops. Take a look at this. Oh, maybe like track get or get path of the track, get type. Let's look at all the things here again. Okay, track. Could you get key count? I just wanna get the name of the track. Gonna do some major stuff, code that's all in an impl for a struct. Need to effectively remove the struct since it's hindering ability to expand the function. What's an impl? Is that short for implementation, or is that... I'm not quite following. Method track get name? Turns the method name of a method track. Oh. If I do track key, get key value, maybe I can see if this is what I think it is. Maybe... track index 3, key index 0 or 1. Doesn't matter. Impl for a struct, translation to non-Rust programming. All the code is in a custom class. Classes methods and not as a standalone function as it should be. Okay, in Rust, classes are called structs, okay. Define methods and traits for structs, you make an impl block, okay. So it's kind of like your struct is sort of like your header in C. And then your impl is like your actual class definition. Why do they... What's the reason for separating it out? What's the purpose of the impl block? Not monitoring. Yes, monitoring. Okay, so in theory, we'll just fall right past it now. And hopefully... Oops. I guess... Stop this, because... I gotta reset that. Animation players are funny like that. You gotta drag everything back to this, to where you want it to be. You can't leave an animation like positioning on the... Okay, so that happened, and the pipe did not go away though. So value true. That's not the correct kind of value. So this is the problem. We're giving it vector 2s, and it's giving us a Boolean. So, which one does it think is track 3? Track index. So a track... I think these are tracks, maybe. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it must be the player visible track that I'm actually setting. So maybe it's 0, 1, 2, 3. I thought the whole thing was a track, but now it makes more sense that each of these individual things are tracks. I'm so dumb. Of course these are tracks, because how else would you reference them individually? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually track 7 that I want to change. Assuming it's indexed like sequentially 0 to n. Okay. And then we'll just do this, and here, run it again. Okay, and there it goes. Cool. That's kind of correct. The one thing about the way doing it that way though is gonna be that it's very like, I don't know, you don't have a ton of control over how the movement happens. The curve is kind of funny, right? And so, oh, by the way, in case you didn't see, like these gear things now, this is how they are now. I don't know if we showed this off last week during stream or not. But now it's like you're collecting gears and they turn this gear thing near the portal and they're not coins anymore, so they only serve the purpose of opening the portal door now, which I think is really good. It's been a breakthrough of sorts in the design. I think it's really nice now. Might make a struct my type that say holds an integer in the impl block. You'd give that class methods like an increase value, so you could make variable a new my type and call a.increase value. Yep. Forget that object oriented is not a thing in some languages. Presume GD script is object oriented. No. You can do classes in GD script, but for the most part, you just don't do it. You expect peak stream content? Okay. Well, what do you think about this? I can't move the player. Peak stream content. Why didn't it work? The pipe went away, but the player did not fall down. They're just stuck there. What do you think about, can I get your input on this, PK? When it comes to the shop, the question that I have here on screen, I have this, like, sort of open question of, where put upgrades? Where should we, like, get them? The vault should go up with the player. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. That's a good bad suggestion. So I could create like a little area here for you to buy upgrades to your equipment, your gear, right? This is for buying new gear. This is for buying like perks that don't really have to do a gear. I could put a third area for buying gear upgrades, or you could do it like in the locker where you equip the gear, and I don't really know which I should do. Thoughts? As for why that animation didn't fully work, I'm gonna debug that. Okay, you have a good night too. Thank you for hanging out there. You know, it was short and sweet, but I enjoyed our time together nonetheless. Have all your window shopping in one place. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, a part of that question is going to be like, if we have it, like, there's potentially like a lot of different upgrades that you might have, and I don't know if it'll all like fit in here, or if I could say do the same kind of thing. Yeah, right? I kind of like, I kind of agree with you, Slothy and PK. Here's the problem. There's already like, I don't know, 8 different like gear things that you can buy, and you could imagine for each of them you might have a few different things you could upgrade about it potentially. And so like that suddenly means you either have a ton of shit you can buy up here, or you need like a separate menu to go into here, right? That's funny. You'll need like a separate menu because there's just going to be so many things, like so many choices, right? Or it'll be like pick a few, the way you pick a few gears and a few other perks, right? From a bigger list. And so each time it would be a new smattering of upgrades you could purchase from. But like that takes away some amount of agency, right? From like the experience. And so that's kind of weird. This is like the con I'm thinking of to that. Because like, let's say I buy like the, I don't know, whatever. I buy the slow fall and I want to upgrade it, right? What if that upgrade that I want doesn't come up, you know, on any given time I want to do it? I feel like I'd want to always be able to do it. My frame of reference right now is Hades, where you can always buy anything you want. And I'm trying to kind of emulate that game in a lot of ways. I want my cake and I want to eat it too, damn it. I want both. Can't I have both? Hades has both. I want my donut, actually. Okay, why was player not being enabled there? Can move player should have been getting set to true. And I don't see... player spawn position. Okay, and then global position equals this. We're not doing anything with player's ability to move here. We should be playing player start. So, alright, let's double check and see if they're getting like stuck somewhere or something and if our variables are correct. Okay. Okay, so we fall through there. This seems to work correctly. Movement becomes possible after a few seconds, and everything is peachy. Now we suck at the game, we die, and... okay, what's our variables right now? Let's take a look at our player here. Can control player is false. Okay. I think we must be... why are we setting can control to false? And why is it happening on respawn but not on first spawn, I think is a more important question. The player object is not carrying over, so it should be a fresh player object every time, no matter what. Can move player. Are you also false? But let's unpause it, finish the animation. Can move player is true now, but can control player is still false, right? Yeah, okay. So for some reason that's... oh, I know why. Because of this stupid animation that's playing. I forgot about that. Okay. I need to undo that. That's all it is. We have it do... if game over is equals 1. We're doing first open, which does this. Which plays the animation shopkeep in shop? No. Oh yeah. Open. Hold on, I gotta trace the stack here. Shop hatch.first open, which says emit signal meta shop first open. Which plays shopkeep intro. If I just emitted meta shop open, that might be better instead. Let's do open for business. Which would basically skip that first part of the cutscene. I think. And so player control should automatically be fine. Shouldn't be affected at all. We should just kind of fall through. Woo! Okay. And that's effectively it. Yeah. Okay. So now, like, on game overs equals 1, I think I will change it so that there's kind of like the first time you come through here now, as soon as you walk in, I think we'll have the automatic cutscene of this guy talking to you and explaining what's going on in here. Hey, welcome to the shop. You know, blah, 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 blah. The thing he does when... Right now, he does it when you talk to him. He's like, here, you can use your stuff for helpful items. Here's an item. He gives you the magnet. I do think I might change it to be not the magnet, but I'm not sure. Use the gear, you must equip it at your locker. Here, let's equip this gear and go try it out. So it equips the magnet, and now you've equipped it. Hooray! Just press right trigger or whatever the keyboard key is to use its special active ability. So here's the thing, right? I've now got gear, and I want them all to be kind of active. However, what I saw happen in a playtest is it's a lot to ask someone to be getting used to the game's base mechanics, and then like ask them right away to start like also being able to like press a button like this. In order to use something. It's asking a lot in terms of coordination really early. And so the idea I discussed with the playtester was like, maybe the first thing we give the player is like one kind of passive upgrade, like this extra boost thing. And that's just like a generally helpful thing. I could give this like some kind of active ability, but maybe is not necessary, like to inundate them with that, right? Maybe if they figure it out on their own, it's okay, but at least if like the base ability of this is that it would give you more boost to start, and that's fine on its own, but maybe it would have an extra thing involved that that gives you what am I trying to say? Gives you something extra special if you can have the coordination to press the button to do it. I don't know what kind of active ability would be associated with just an extra boost pack, though. Maybe, like... some kind of refill ability or something, I'm not sure. I don't know. But I want gear, I do want, the whole thing is I do want gear to have, like, abilities that you use, because the idea would be, like, it's kind of, like, even more fun and more interesting to have options for, like, how to play the game, right? Instead of just, like, jumping around, even though it's, like, fun and kind of a lot for some players. Having more stuff to do than just the single, like, jump and fly around is good, I think, overall. The idea would be to, you know, the whole thing is to, like, encourage players through playing the game to get better at their coordination skills by equipping lots of gear and using it all, right? But the question is, like, how to, like, gradually introduce it, and we need to figure that out. And that's still a work in progress. I feel like, so I will say this, I am feeling like I want to release the demo kind of soon-ish, but I also want to do a lot of these things design-wise and, like, answer some of these questions before I do. And so, you know, I'm gonna see what I can do in the near future, and if I manage to do enough, kind of, like, you might not see a lot of it happening, because it might happen off, most likely, more than likely going to happen a lot off stream, but regardless, I'm hoping to, that's kind of where I'm going with this, if that makes sense. Bubbles are nice. I want to give the player an option to start with, like, extra bubbles. I think like, starting bubbles is going to be huge. Because right now, as it stands, the game's a one-hit kill. Right? And it's always that way, unless you have bubbles. So I think that's going to be a big perk. Oh yeah, then I gotta fix these rooms. These rooms are a little bit broken. For a couple of reasons. The ceiling rooms. Okay. That's gonna happen off stream. Oh, use my bubble. This whole question of, like, how do we sort of make things a little nicer and a little easier for the player is probably, like, a never-ending question, I guess. But in thinking about how a lot of roguelikes are designed, I think I'm gonna, like, yeah, I'm gonna do, like, a perk that lets you, like, improve this, right? So we got, like, the breakout spring. I wonder if I could make it a thing that doesn't disappear, but I was thinking of just like making it wider and also like increasing the number of them, right? That would be the way to upgrade it. And that's also another question, is like these like perk upgrades kind of goes hand in hand with the gear upgrades, is like, do I want it to just be a random set of a few, or do I want to show all available, right? Because I feel like I can think of a lot of potential perk upgrades you can get, right? And so they also wouldn't Whee! This room's dangerous. Instant death. Okay. I think I want to make the player controllable sooner on that animation. More like after like 2 seconds and some change. Yeah, which ones are we talking about? Are you talking about the ones that you collect in the levels? Yeah. So they were previously coins, right? I always thought about them as coins. And I don't know if you remember like an old version of the game. I don't know if you saw this game like back when I was working on it last year. But before they were like rotating coins, they were gears, and I've come back to them being gears now. Yeah. Okay, so you did see that version. Yeah. And I had kind of like an epiphany recently when I did a playtest. Which was like, let's make them not coins. And the whole purpose is that they interact with this thing, right? And so now it's like they just do this thing and they don't really need to sort of disappear in the same way, right? Because now they're not exactly collectibles in the traditional sense. And so I think it makes a lot more sense now, I guess, that they would be gears, right? Because they're part of like the mechanism. Part of the issue is they look like spikes, yeah. I did make them bigger and more gear-like also. That could be helping also. But I assume you agree, it looks a lot better now, right? Like, I think it's a lot more clear, like, what's happening. And then money is just like this separate thing now, right? You don't collect the money to progress, you just have money. And you collect these things to progress that don't really have any other bearing on anything. I think it's a lot better. It's still kind of abstract in the sense that they just kind of like appear. But I think like that's kind of excusable in a lot of ways. For some reason. I think it's because the rest of it sort of makes some kind of physical sense. Okay, so this is the problem with this room, is that I think the wrenches need to spawn a little quicker the lower the ceiling is. And then there's this special shop, which I'm not gonna spoil for you. That's secret content that you will get to experience when the demo is released. Although I think I worked on it last week, so if you know, you know. I think I worked on it on stream, and so I think if you want to really look at what it is, you can get a sneak preview. It also is a feature. It's a new feature that needs to be play tested a bit more anyway, so. Why is the console printing blurred? Good question. I don't remember. I could probably get rid of that print statement, actually. There's a lot of print statements that I'm doing. That one was... there was some kind of bug in my level picking algorithm. So I reworked a lot of code. And I'm not too super happy about some of the things I did. There's the blurg. Because I needed to understand what certain references were at certain points in the like process of going to the next level and opening up the next level. I was doing a lot of print statements to figure out like what was what when. Because I reworked the level choosing code so that now I know. So you might know that a lot of roguelites do kind of like a seed sort of thing where it chooses like the dungeon layout or the order of levels or whatever like at the start of the game, right when you start, and it loads that all up, and so it knows like well ahead of time like what everything is. This game, if you've seen me code it at all, you should know that I don't do that, and I'm just picking a random room as we go. But I kind of reworked the code there a little while, not that long ago, so that it looks ahead an extra room now, so that it can determine what actual room node to spawn in. So there's like these two, right? So there's like this plain room that has not much going on the sides, and then you got this room with the gears on the sides. That needs to be visible also. So like depending on what the level is that we're gonna use for the room, we can now spawn in the correct room. We didn't previously know like 2 rooms ahead what the level was gonna be. But man, it makes things confusing trying to like do that predictive stuff like that. Because I'm like juggling like what's the current room, what's the next room, where are we in the process of spawning things in, and blah blah blah, you know, associated with that. So it's a little honestly, from an engineering standpoint, it's not my proudest moment, but it works. But I was debugging some stuff with it there, and that's why I got all these stupid print statements. Again, code cleanup. One day I might actually organize it and make it make complete and good sense, but okay. I want to do a test. So I'm kind of curious if and how we can do like animated tiles. And more importantly, like animated tiles with a auto tile. I'm not sure. It might be possible in 4.0 also. And I'm on 3.2 Godot, so also quite possible I could try updating Godot. Because, like, here's the thing. We've got, like, for instance, we've got this, right? We've got some animated tiles here. And the thing is, I could just sort of do something like that. And then auto tile everything else, like, in between. That seems kind of weird, right? I would love it if these animated tiles could be part of the auto tile. And I'm not sure. So let's just, like, do an experiment here. I'm gonna save this as... Tile test, I guess. Okay. So... we've got conveyor.tres is a tile set with a bunch of animated tiles. Maybe we can add... Okay, we can add a texture. And so we can... There's background tile set. I don't know the difference between these, but let's just go ahead and open the old this tile set. So I guess the thing about the auto tile is, like, you can do an auto tile with this. But I don't think I can throw a animated tile into here, right? New atlas. I don't know about with an atlas. I'm gonna do a quick little bit of research here. Ah. I did not try making them .dos or .uno. They are .trace for a reason. It's obviously because there are 6 of them, which is a multiple of 3, duh. Okay, animated auto tiles. Let's see. 3 years ago. They marked it as solved. Let's see what they had to say. Trying to use the tile animation. I'm having problems using animated texture, saving to trace, which is type resource, and using it in tile. That's the joke. Is looks like trace, but it's resource type. And using the tile map node, but it isn't working. Neither in auto tile nor single tile. Can someone help me? I don't think you can use the animated texture resource in combination with the tile set. What you could do, however, is to loop through all the tile map tiles, filter out the auto tile, filter some more to get to a specific bit set tile, then replace this tile at the coordinate location with something else, like an animated sprite. Okay. Another option might be to expand the complete tile set texture you use by as many duplicates of the entire texture as you need frames in your animation. What's this? Ugh. Ugh. No, thank you. Paste the frames into the tiles you want to animate. Animate the rect position vector to the texture region rect. That's exactly what I need. I have made a mistake using Atlas on the animated texture, but now I'll do what these videos do. Alright, let's see what this does. I'm gonna pause the music here for a sec. Let's see what they're linking here.
So today
And if it's what we want.
look at a resource called an animated texture. Now this might seem very similar to the node, the animated sprite, but this is actually a resource. It's not a node, and hopefully I can show a few examples that will show why the animated texture is useful. I feel like most people don't even realize that the animated texture is available to them. And just a quick overview of why they are useful. First of which is you can animate tile maps. Animating a tile map is usually used for water or liquids or some type of reflection in your tile maps, but you'd really use it for whatever you want. And then the last thing I'll show you is, and you actually can use this resource as a texture in a shader, and you can sample that texture as it's changing. So the first thing we'll look at is the tile map, and the first you go into the tile set
Okay.
editor.
So that's just using it as
Go
a
ahead and
tile.
add textures, anyone, and I added just a single one of my animations, and it'll look like this.
This I'm not too...
And once you've done
I already
that,
know how to do this.
you'll want to add a single tile and just get a single region for it. And then we'll go into our new tile set here. This will be number 3. And instead of having just a simple texture here, you're going to want to add a new animated texture. So when you click this resource then, it's going to ask you how many frames you want. And so we're going to only do a couple frames here for this example since I've already done it. And you just go through and you add each individual frame.
Okay. Easy. We've done this.
Okay, now in the example I have here, I have 16 frames. I'm only going to do 3 for right now. But as you can see, it creates this little animation. Now you can save this resource by clicking save here. And like I said, you can save it as a file that you can later put into a shader. Now we have these 2 different types of lava, and it's as simple as that. Now the reason why I have this other silly howdy one is I wanted to also show you can change the frames per second, and you can have a delay for each frame. So this one is only 2 frames, but it just switches between the plain and the howdy. So the last thing, the texture is actually just the Godot icon, And I added a uniform sampler 2D in the shader params of my shader. After you save your animation as a resource, you can actually just click and drag it right into
This isn't at all what I was looking for.
this sampler 2D. And after you have that resource set in here, as
Okay.
you can see, animated texture is an option. I mixed the animated texture weight of how much you're mixing animated texture. But if you have any questions, let me know, and I
Okay.
hope you enjoyed this tutorial.
Not really, but that's all right. Sure, it was useful for someone.
So today we're going to go over how to make animated water in a tile map when you have a sprite sheet. I made a similar video about animated textures, but you needed individual sprites for the animated texture, and this time I wanted to use an entire sprite sheet and have the same effect. So I'm going to show you two ways that I accomplish this. The first, I'm going to show you how I use it in animation player, and then the second, so the first thing you're going to do is which is just the type of differences that they are is on here, but really there are only 4 different sprite sheets. Have more complex bitmaps if you want, but the main point of here is to show you the starting point that we're going to have to locate. Each image is 256 pixels across, so that will equal to these numbers that we'll have to use later. And later in the tutorial, it'll be important to get this top corner.
I gotta
Looking at the
take a look at
sprite sheet
this.
quickly before we get started, there are 8 images on here, but
Mm-hmm.
really there are only 4 different sprite sheets. They are duplicated so you can have more complex bitmaps if you want. But the main point of here is to show you the starting point that we're going to have to locate. Each image is 256 pixels across, so that will equal to these numbers that we'll have to use later. And later in the tutorial, it'll be important to get this top corner of each sprite sheet that we're going to want. So starting from scratch, we're going to add a tile map in an animation player and put the tile set that we want into it. I'm going to make an auto tile. I prefer to put everything inside of another node when I'm creating things. I find it easier to make things their own scene later than trying to change the base or the root node of a scene. So now our auto tile is working, and what we're going to actually do is shift the whole region over to this next spot that we were talking about, that 512 I was showing in the earlier picture.
Okay.
And we're going to do that over and over again with
the animation player. They're shifting the region. Okay.
When you click onto the tile map and you click the tile set, you lose your animation, but you will still be able to go back to it.
This is how you would do it.
Which will give you all of these little keys, which the key that we're going to want is the region. We will create a new track in order to start out at 0.
This is like what I was looking for.
It goes by 512, and then we'll make another key. And if you're terrible at math, remember that computers do math for you. You can go 512, you just add the in there, and then we'll do one more of 1024 plus 512.
I think that's what we like.
That.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you'll still need 0.2 seconds of this animation. Obviously, you can make this however long you want. We'll go 8 seconds.
And this is just like however many frames you have.
Animation,
yeah.
And it looks terrible. Okay, let's loop it so you can see how terrible it is. It looks absolutely terrible. Let's stop that. And now the main thing that you need to remember is not continuous. We want it discrete.
Discrete. Okay.
Okay. And then when you click, we'll have to save this.
Cool.
It does not go because we also forgot to click the auto start button. So now when we go, okay, there's your water. Sweet. So to do basically the same thing in code, if you prefer, this is essentially the same tile set that we made before. It's just blue. Okay. And we just have a tile map opposed to an animation player, and we're going to manually do it in the script.
Awesome.
So to do basically the same thing in code, we're going to have a container where we're going to make a timer. We're going to have a delay that we'll be able to change, and this is going to keep track of where on the sprite sheet we are. And then this is the size of the sprite sheet. And so in the ready function, we will create a new timer. We will add that timer to the scene. And you could do that with just a node here, but I just thought it was interesting how to do it in the code. But if you make a timer in code, you need to connect it to a function. We'll set the wait time, and we'll make sure that it loops, and then we will start the timer.
I'll just do the animation player thing, but
times out, we
I can
will
see how
reset
this works.
the set time to a random number between 0.5 and 1.2.
Mm-hmm.
We will move the region up to 512, and then this will make it loop back to 0 on the sprite sheet. If it ever reaches that 512 times 4, then it will automatically go back down to 0.
That a mod equals? I think that's a mod equals.
So you can kind of see what I mean by that.
Very rare.
Reset the tile region.
Very rare sighting of the mod equals operator.
If you look at this, it's tile set 0. That's what that means. Then after you tell which tile set you are changing, you need to have a rect2. So a rect2 has 4 different variables in it. It has the starting X position, the starting Y position, and the size of the rectangle. Now, when we're doing this, we're just moving along this top point, so the Y never changes, and we need to just jump by 512 each time, and that's
this is all good enough for me. Yeah, so yeah, you're just doing the same thing, but tile set region. Yeah. Hooking it up to a timer instead of an animation player, which does the timer stuff for you. So I think animation player is simpler and easier. That's a nice solution. I approve of this video, so actually,
so today we're going to go over
kind of solved the problem I was thinking about. So thumbs up. Actually good tutorial or an actually useful thing. Let's implement it. Music. All right, so we've got a new tile set here that involves these animated things. I don't know how many frames each of these has. Let's take a look. This is only 3 frames, so that's cool. Are they all 3 frames? These are all only 3 frame animations, so this should be relatively easy. Alright, so we're gonna take this tile set and modify it, and then just triplicate it. Okay. And we'll just auto tile it the same way, right? So we'll call this This is the very beginning of our World 2. Okay. Now there's a 176 by 80. That's it? Okay. Canvas size. Let's do a little calculation. $528. We'll open it up that way. Once we get it looking decent, we'll how we want it to, we will do stuff. So what I would like to do is just open up our textures for our conveyors and paste them over in there. Because we're making a tile set of conveyor belt like world pieces is what we're doing. Just in case that wasn't clear. Can I just open all of these at once? No. Really wish I could just shift-click open. Load the sequence? Sure, let's do it. Well, we can at least open them that way. Right, down, right. Top left. And top right. Okay. Now we're just basically going to be kind of plopping these all in here. So we'll use frame 1. Almost plopped frame 3 in. Let's do frame 1. Oops. And we'll put that right in here. Okay. This is actually kind of interesting because it doesn't quite line up. It is 16 by 16. Maybe I should go like that. Maybe that would be appropriate, right? We can worry about the interior in a little bit, but... Okay, so this is bottom left, and then we got bottom right. I'll just make sure I have that lined up correctly. Okay. Cool. And then right. So we're gonna kind of put that in there. I guess we might as well also paste it over here. Top left. Perfect. And top right. Okay. No. So we got this. That's like the base kind of thing, right? And I guess we can just maybe just do that kind of square bit for now, and we can work on like these single tile exceptions later, I think. Because I don't even have a tile that would fit, I think, this stuff. I just want to get like a basic working kind of something, just as like a proof of concept here. And I don't have a shit ton of time anyway, so. Okay, so we got that, so we can just sort of copy that over and use frames 2 and 3 in those places. Okay. Okay. Frame 2, bottom left. Make sure we're still looking at what we want to look at. And you know what I gotta do though, actually? I gotta get rid of everything here. Forgot it doesn't replace, it doesn't overwrite empty space as like actual whatever. You gotta actually delete stuff in order for it to go away. Okay, bottom right. I hope this is all like the correct order. I'm just kind of assuming it is because I think I didn't do anything particularly special with anything here. As far as like, you know, inverting like the frame order or anything for any of these tile resources that I did create before with these. Not 100% sure though. I guess we'll find out. Okay. That's 2. And then frame 3. Frame 3. And this is a little tedious. I'm wondering if there's like a faster way I should be doing this. I don't know. Okay, we're getting it there anyway. Still faster than starting from entirely scratch though, so it's... I can't complain too much. Okay. And then I think I'm just gonna kind of take that color and fill it in. How come it misses some spots? That's a really weird... The flood fill isn't quite perfect here, is it? That meant to be... Those ones on the in the weird like corner spots I can understand, but I don't know why some of those other ones didn't. Oh well. Anyway. Okay, so that should be like some kind of like thing we can auto tile and hopefully it'll animate. Okay. So let us create a new tile set, shall we? What did I call it? Base World 2 environment? Okay. That's it. Okay. Let's try auto tile. Let me save this, import this tile set though correctly. Not all fuzzy and weird. Okay, let's do an auto tile. And let's make the bit mask. Oh, you know what? It needs to be like... This whole thing needs to be the region. Right? Oh my god. Did you come here just to tell me this great news? That's the proof. Oh, this needs to be... slightly different. Mask mode 3x3. You're lovely. Thank you for the great news. I can't wait to go get one. Is it still cheap though? Or did they up the price? Okay, bit mask. Was I doing 3x3 minimum on the other one? I don't know. Let me pull open like the room scene and let's like look at our tile set here. So here's our like auto tile, right? 3x3 minimal. I don't know what the difference is between it's Flamin' Hot Fritos. Oh, it wasn't Flamin' Hot Fritos for a while, was it? They did like shitty like whatever Fritos. I don't know the difference between minimal and regular 3x3. That is concerning me. Oops. Okay. That region. Let's do bit mask. 3x3 minimal, I guess. So this should be just like this, I think, if I remember how it works. It was just the Fiesta strips. It's bullshit. Okay, let's try... Okay. That builds out. That's cool. That's what we want as far as like drawing it goes. Let's just like I'm gonna get rid of all of these and we'll just do like a fun like couple of things here, and we'll get rid of the path. And yeah. We can get rid of this script probably. Come on, he had to tell me, he had to tell me the good news. Love that you followed him over here. Did you stream today, by the way, Sean? Oh, thank you. You keeping an eye out on all the Taco Bell news for us? Oh no. Oh no, this isn't good. This needs to not be filed of paths. It needs to be its own thing. And then angle, spike, rectangle. Let's clear out the script. You may have had one. Oh, I totally knew that. Totally knew. Ron, why do you have to stream when I'm busy? Okay, anyway, so animation player, right? So the implementation was what we do is set region, which has something to do with the texture, right? Texture offset. I already forgot where. It's not tile text offset, I don't think. Dang it, I already forgot where that video showed us the texture thing. Tools? Does it need a material? Is that what it is? Let me see if I can pull it up again. Gosh dang, I thought I had it in my head and I lost it already. Thank you. I'm having lots of fun already, and I appreciate you. Okay, so we set up the sprite sheet, and we load things up. Okay, in the tile set, we do our bit mask, And save the tile set. We got a region. Animation player. Okay. So what are we changing there? It's on tile set in the region field, right? What it looks like. Is that a property track? What kind of track is that in the animation player? New track for region. Okay. So I think it's over here somewhere, right? How come I don't have region? Okay, so I'm gonna create a child animation player. Is that something from a different version of Godot, maybe? I wonder. Maybe that's why I didn't understand and couldn't find it. Maybe I can do texture offset. I don't have region. What version of Godot is this guy using? It says 3.1. Tutorial tileset.tres. How come my, where'd my resource go? Should be in here, I think. Oh, it's in obstacles world too. Oops. Let's... Can I just move it? Okay. Where's all the stuff? I can't see any of the properties for it. I need to make it local to scene, maybe? Let's see if this guy did anything special that I missed.
Create a new track. You want it to start out at 0. And if you remember, it goes by 512. And then we'll make another key. Over and over again with the animation player.
It's like somewhere in the same place that all this stuff is, right? Texture, offset, selected tile. I don't see region, but it would be like right here. If I do texture offset as like 178, that make it like my sorry, 176. That make it my second frame here? Maybe not. That just moves everything over. Okay. We don't have region. I might have to do this in the code form. Might I?
When you click onto the tile map and you click the tile set, you lose your animation, but you will still be able to go back to it, which will give you all of these little keys, which the key that we're going to want is the region. We will create a new track in order to start.
Okay. Player, go back to our tile. Does it show up here now? If I look at this? No, I don't see it. It just doesn't get exposed here in 3.2, I guess. Shape offset. Material's empty. Name, texture. This doesn't have a texture field either. What's up with that? It like got reworked somehow. I guess between 3.1 and 3.2. Godot 3.2. Texture and region. Freeze of set. Oh no. Still have spam bots? Thought my bot was supposed to take care of you. Damn. A shame. Uh Do we still have access to this stuff in 3.2? In the code, maybe? Referenced by a unique integer ID. So it might not be tiles set. Tileset editor selected tile, right? I guess we could like get the tile set and get the tile from it. Find tile by name gives us an int. Is there like a tile type we get? Tile get texture by tile ID. And then this let us do something with the region. Rect to tile get region. So we could probably do tile set region. Yeah. That's the tiles subregion in the texture. Okay, common in texture atlases. I guess let's see if we can do it the code way. Start that music again. He's doing that. Tileset region, right? Here's the assets. Where's the GitHub? Damn, I'm gonna have to do this all on my own? Okay. I guess I can't do it with an animation player because region is not exposed anywhere for me to... Let's see. Can I do a property track? Tile map? Load tile set. Cell size, cell custom. Tile set. What's that? That's no fun. What a bummer. Okay. Let's add a script. Their map. And where's that going? In obstacles. Sure. Okay, so we need timer, delay, region X, size 528. A equals 1, timer is null, region X is 0. Timer equals timer.new, add child, okay. Probably do timer.start and then set wait time, delay, set one shot false. Oh, why am I waiting 1 second? Is that just the delay between frames, maybe? One shot false. Timer.start. Okay. And then process. We will. Why are we doing a random range 0.5 to 1.2 here? That makes no sense. They're trying to like switch up the time, because delay is like the time between the frames, right? Because when the timer, this is on timer timeout. This isn't on process, right? We need to like hook up that signal. Timer to connect timeout. Yeah, we don't need a process. I don't think I need to reset the wait time. Probably. But so region X plus equals 176 is what I'm gonna say. Then region X mod equals 28 or size, right? We could do the print statement. I don't feel the need to. So we're gonna say tile set, which, where does that even come from? In this code, where does it come from? Oh, tileset's like a property because it's on the tile map, right? Yeah. Set, what's it called? Set, oh, tile set region. Okay. Not set tile region. 0 rect to region X 0 Should be 176 A.D. I believe that's like the size of like one of the 3 tile sets, right? I don't know why he has those in-between regions in his tile set, so I'm wondering if I absolutely need to do that. I guess we'll find out. But
variables in it. It has the starting X position, the starting Y position, and the size of the rectangle. Now, when we're doing this, we're just moving along this top point, so the Y never changes, and we need to just jump by 512 each time, and that's exactly what we're going to do. What you end up with is water that isn't quite so predictable, and then, like I said, here's the math of what's happening each time you go through that function. And that's how you make it. So now a point that we're going to have to locate so you can have more complex bitmaps if you want. The main point of here sprite sheets. They are duplicated so you can have more complex bitmaps if you want. The main point of here is to
duplicated so you can have more complex bitmaps. I don't know what he means by that. I feel like he just means like you can do some quick math to like do a variant, maybe like you could choose a variation of like what your offset is, maybe randomly. I don't know. I feel like it's not terribly important to doing this code because the main thing is that we're just moving on to the next one each time. So I'm gonna throw this obstacle into a room and see if it does the thing correctly, I guess. Let's cross our fingers. Okay. So this one is called tile test 1, right? We'll create just kind of duplicate whatever. Okay. Spawn obstacle. Obstacle name. Oops. Hello? Don't. Okay. Cool. Okay. Just duplicate this. Level 2 tile test. Okay. And then thing is, the spawn obstacle function we need to check. Yo, what's going on? How you doing? If you want to know what's up with me, I am working on creating a sort of animated tile map An animated auto tile, in fact. Which is a little bit tricky. But I'm learning things, so it's fun. Kind of doing it as a test. Yeah. So... the spawn obstacle function takes a name and it goes resources slash obstacles slash current level resource dot obstacle names. Okay, so it just takes a random one from this list, which is kind of funny. Slash that dot tscene. So I need to make it like, because it's in the world 2 folder, it needs to be slash world 2 slash tile test 1. Yeah. Okay. That should work. And then in theory, I can just throw this in as like test level 0s. I know who you are. I know who this is. Your username is the same everywhere. You're the nerd. You know. I just don't like you know. I don't like necessarily calling people out by name on stream. That's all. So I tend to just say, "Hey you." Okay. So that's level 0 level. And we'll throw that into our little game place here, and the world will be happy. Okay. Level 0 levels. Test. With the world 2. Okay. Here's the moment of truth. Cross your fingers. See if it works. Okay, we gotta go through here. Go up into the portal. I really, like, in a lot of ways, don't like how long that takes, but it's okay. Oh no, it's not animating. Rude. Okay. We're not there yet. Clearly. I added the script, I believe. I'm going to make sure the script is running. We did spawn the obstacle. I did not add the script. Weird. How did I create the script and not add it? That's funny. Okay. Try this again. Animate. Every 1 second. Yeah. Look at that beautiful animation. So slow, but it's there. Cool. Let us make the delay 0.2 seconds instead. Let's take a look at the animated tile resources, actually. Where are they? They're somewhere under tiles. Here we go. So our animated were frames, 6 frames per second, which 1 divided by 6 is 0.16 repeating. I can't quite do that. I can do 0.17 for the delay. It's effectively the same. Okay. I'm glad it worked because I'm basically out of time for streaming today. Not sure I can do much more anyway. Within a rounding error. And there you go, now it's animating. Kinda slowly, but it's there. It looks kind of slow. I feel like I want it to go a little faster than that. Also, I need to give them collision. Wonder what happened with the coins there. Oh, it doesn't have a script on it to tell you to spawn a new coin, aka gear. I'm just gonna make it 0.1. I could just change the delay there, depending on how fast I want it to convey, right? If I just change this delay number a bunch. It's like directly and linearly related to the speed of the conveyor. So there, lower the number, faster conveyor. Alright. Need to do some visual work on it and whatnot, but I mean, you know, it's like is what it is. There's a slight issue with this insofar as when it comes to this tile set. I think with an auto tile, I think the collision is like all the same. Like if I select this tile and go collision, I think I have to create collision inside it, and it's just like whatever I make it. And so like every tile is gonna have this same collision box. And that is a slight problem because, well, you can probably see if we do that. But collision's not gonna line up nicely with our actual geometry. And that's a damn shame. So I'm either gonna have to find a workaround to that, or just draw the tiles a little bit differently. Oh, no collision. Where is it? Oh wait, there's some collision. Oh, it's just that one. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe it is just... Maybe I do each individual thing collision. There's something I didn't understand about collision and auto tiles. Let's see. How collision with auto tile? Changing how I draw them. Easier. I mean, if I do the region thing and then do collision, and then if I collision... Why can't I do this? Oh my god. Hello? How did I do collision here like this? I don't understand, actually. Why is that going in here, right? Like... Keep polygon inside region rect. What if I do this? No. That's not right. Let's see if we can learn something in just a minute here. Line, rectangle, bucket fill, picker, scattering, distance using patterns. Oh, this is 4.2 or 4.1. I need to go back to 3.2. Tile map, creating a tile set. Okay. You're making a map that needs collisions, blah blah blah, then you'll need to add collision shapes to any tiles. Click select collision, create new rectangle. Make sure you still have grid snap enabled, then click and drag in the tile. Where collision shape appears in light blue. Find group tiles all at once using an atlas. Tile tiles, I need to find a group and add rules to control which tile gets used for drawing based on the content of adjacent cells. Click new auto tile and drag to select the tiles you wish to use. You can add collisions, occlusion, navigation shapes, tile priorities, and select an icon tile in the same manner as for atlas tiles. Okay, so how does collision work for atlas tiles? Rather than adding individual tiles, you can define a group of tiles all at once using an atlas. This allows you to randomly generate tiles from the group. I'll be like a minute late to my thing. That's okay though. What is that emote? Is that like... Is that supposed to be like a clown nose? I'm gonna make sure to change the step. And once you define the atlas, you can add collision shapes to the individual tiles as before. You can see all the tiles it contains. It says I can do it individually, but how come region is tiny? Oh, I did it there, I think. Oh, I guess it's just because I didn't click and drag. I don't know. Here we go. I just do this for each one. Maybe? Maybe it was just that simple all along. It was just that I wasn't clicking and dragging, and I was just clicking inside and expecting it to work. And then if we take grid snap off, maybe I can do this. Hello? Why can't I drag these? It's just a nose. Fair enough. I can select and drag this stuff. How come this won't delete? I'm very confused. This is very odd. Like if I do this, but what if I like... No, you can't do that. Do I have to literally like manually do this for each one? Because if so... That's a little goofy. Oh, what the hell? And it's also incredibly imprecise. Nice snap per pixel. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Snap and show grid. Tile mode. Subtile size. Configurable via the inspector. How and where? Is it somewhere in here? I see subtile size and spacing, but I don't see snap anywhere here. Anyway, I kind of want to test like these collisions out and see how they do. Oops. So I'm going to just do that. If the top right of our little rectangles collide. Alright. And then that's it. I'm gonna end the stream there, I think, and we'll call it a night. And I don't know, that was a fun little bit of experimentation and progress and discussion. Short but sweet. Okay, so here we've got, okay, yeah, this is kind of the collision I was roughly expecting. It's just a bit frustrating because you don't really have a really good, like, snapped kind of, like, fine-tuned control. Also, it looks like I fell in somehow. I think, like, somehow I, like, fell in between the tile there. This collision doesn't work quite how I expect it to. I shouldn't fall right there. Like, that's weird. What's with this empty space right here that I'm able to just sit here? Why? Something's a little weird about that. But it almost kind of works how I expect. So, what if our rectangles collided? So I'm gonna mess around with, like, and see if I can't find, like, the snap setting that I'm looking for so that I can, like, properly do collision here on this tile, on this auto tile, on each individual tile of it. Once we got that figured out, we're pretty much in good shape. So, and then we can do all kinds of, like, shapes with it and stuff, and it'll be fun. But yeah, decent progress.